Hey everybody, it's Debbie Meehan with Washington Fine Properties here again. Oh, I see I have a little friend in the background. My helper today. Thank you for joining me for another edition of Real Estate Tip Tuesday. Today is part 2 of Why Do I Need a Buyer Agent? If you follow me on social media or have watched any of my other videos, you might know that I specialize in country properties and luxury homes. In Northern Virginia, where I work, a lot of our country properties or pretty much any property that's not in a subdivision out here is going to be on well and septic. They're also going to be larger acreage properties. So there is a level of expertise that a buyer agent, a very skilled buyer agent, needs to have in order to work in this niche market. Not every buyer agent is experienced in this. There has been sort of I wouldn't call it a land rush, but there's been a exodus from more metropolitan areas out to the countryside. It's very tempting for city agents to come out here with their clients and assist them to purchase a country home. While you probably have a very skilled agent for their market, coming out to the country, you really need to be on top of you need to know what questions to ask. You need to know what type of survey to ask for. You need to know what type of inspections to ask for. You need to know how to interpret those inspection results. It's not just a home that you're looking at, it's all the environs as well. You have, I can't tell you the number of times I've seen people coming out to, and sometimes they're unrepresented, which is another episode just on that. But I've seen people buy land that they didn't realize when they purchased it that it was going to cost them hundreds of thousands of dollars to access the lot because the right-of-way that they had is not really a very easily used. I've seen people think they have access to land and they don't. I've seen people not realize that there's covenants on land when they buy it, and then they go to pull building permits and they've hit this huge roadblock. Buying land is not for the faint of heart. It is something to be the due diligence period that you work on buyer and buyer agent together, along with getting together all of the resources that you need to know. Virginia is a buyer beware state. So if there is something important to you that you need to explore, you need to do that in your study period or in your feasibility study, whatever you want to call it, and make sure that those questions get answered. So as far as buying an existing home, I can't tell you the number of times that I've come across people who have purchased a home, maybe used a realtor that was familiar with subdivision types homes, and then they come out and are surprised when their septic fails and when they've only been there a year. And something that they could have found out easily if they had done a proper septic inspection. There are different levels of it. You need to know exactly what you're getting into, and having a person who understands and knows about that product or that type of situation is really, really critical, because a new septic system can cost anywhere up to from $20,000 to $50,000 depending on the type of system you have. Another reason I also recommend a buyer agent out in the countryside is if you're looking for horse property. I think that horse properties are also a specific niche, and knowing what types of properties are suitable for horses, obviously not all wooded, but there's a lot of skill and knowledge that goes into understanding the value of existing facility and what it would cost to put in new facility. So I think that between positioning yourself for a competitive market and having the proper skill set to to negotiate you through and identify the proper the property that's going to suit your needs is another valuable reason to use a buyer agent. Stay tuned next week for part 3 of why do I need a buyer agent, when I talk a little bit more about how your buyer agent can help you identify properties that might not be on the market yet. And that is a really valuable skill these days. If you like the content I'm putting out and you want to see more of it, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and click that bell to get an alert every time I post something new.